And one thing I learned during my study of political science is that the president is just a figurehead. That we elect them to represent the country, not to run the
You're talking about
country.
the U.S. specifically.
Correct.
Right.
And I feel like every president we've ever had knew that their job is to represent the country, not to actually lead and run the country. Everyone knew that except Trump. He thought that when he became president,
I was going to circle back around on that particular one. Yeah.
he thought that if he were to become president, he's actually in charge of the country. He didn't get the memo that his job is to be a figurehead, not the actual leader. Is the president supposed to represent us, or are they supposed to actually create policy that matters? And that's a political, philosophical question, really, because what is the role of the president? And if you believe that the role of the president is to represent this country and to the rest of the world, then I can see why people don't like Trump. If the role of the president is to enact some sort of change in policy and affect the direction of the country and, in essence, the world, then maybe, like, how could you not like Trump? Because at least he's trying to do his job.
Yeah, that's not how it was meant to be. The president was supposed to be the main guy in charge that kind of helped set the policies based off what the consensus of the senators and the Congress and everybody was. To your point, I think now is the president, the current one we have, is he just a figurehead? Yeah. Do I think he's hard at work doing stuff like that? Absolutely not. No. I firmly believe it's like Oz, right? The guy behind the curtain. There's other people guiding this guy because they got him elected because they know he's going to go out there and be a yes man. Hey, you want some more money? Mm-hmm. You want some of this? You want us to blow the lid on all this stuff? Here's what we need you to do. Got it. Done. Trump was not like that. And I think that really
pissed off a lot of people,
Republicans and Democrats. Mm-hmm. So anything I think that we can do for the political system to stick a stick in the spokes and mess things up so that we can fix it and rebuild it, I'm all for it. I like the fact that he came in like a wrecking ball.
And just disrupted.
I like that. Disruptors history has always been favorable to disruptors. Mm-hmm. Steve Jobs was a disruptor. Edison was a disruptor.
And Steve Jobs.
J.P. Morgan was a disruptor.
From everything we've learned about Steve Jobs now, he was not a nice guy.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
But we remember him as innovator, as a thinker.
He changed the world.
As a revolutionary.
Yep.
But he was not a nice guy, not a good person. Was very mean to people.
Yep.
But people just looked the other way.
Yep.
That's no problem.
It's like a company, right? And Trump was the first person in a long time to come in and run it like a company. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the government doesn't make money. I mean, they technically they do through the Treasury, but they don't earn the money. They take it from us. So we already established this before that, the first rule of business is to stay in business, and you can't stay in business without cash flow. So the government, the bigger it gets, wants to stay big. Well, how do you do that? You do it through cash flow. You got to take it from more people. And so the bigger the government gets, the more it hurts the people that they're taking the money from. That money's better spent, and we can spend a lot more wisely than they can. I'm sorry to tell you. When you spend $2 billion on tree equity in San Francisco, which was a thing, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Does it change the country to spend $2 billion? Dude, $2 billion, you could eradicate homelessness tomorrow.
That's crazy.
For tree equity.
It's just crazy how
Somebody
we
tell
throw
me what that
billions around with B's and T's and trillions, and we just say those numbers like they're meaningless. But it's
the
just
debt clock's only
immense.
going one way. It's going up. And I'll tell you, if this country and our debt and what we owe, if we were a private company, we'd be out of business a long time ago. No bank is going to loan us money when we're that far in debt. My line of credit is not going up. I'll tell you that. I can't afford to hire more people that much in debt. But if you've got an endless supply of banking, let's just raise the debt ceiling, which they're talking about doing again. Let's just borrow some money from China. Let's just take more taxes out. Because when you hear tax increase, that's their way of saying we screwed up. We don't have any money left, but we want to keep getting bigger, so we're just going to take more from you. That's code. That's government code for that's what that means. And it's just maddening because if it were my company, we'd be out of business. Period. But we can't let the government go out of business, can we? We just follow along.
I definitely believe that federal government is getting too big, too strong. They are overstepping their bounds, and we've given them just way too much power. I think there should be a movement towards bringing that power.
Anarchy?
Not anarchy, but close. I think we should bring the power back to local government.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't mind paying more taxes if I knew that tax money was helping the area around me. If they said you're going to increase your local tax and your city tax and even your state tax, we'll increase it 5%, but we'll lower your federal tax 5%. Awesome. Take my money.
Say, we're going to take more from you. Here's what we're going to do with it. And because you're local, you know, hey, we're going to build this road. Okay.
Awesome.
If 6 months or a year goes by and there's no road, hey man, where's my road?
Yeah.
You took more taxes. Where's the road?
And you can hold them accountable.
But you don't know that because the country and the government are so big now. They take more taxes. And like, I'll give you an example. A bill is not a bill anymore. If they say, hey, we're going to do this, we love the veterans bill. They're like, oh, that's great. We love veterans.
Sounds fantastic.
Sounds fantastic. Let's do it. 2% of the bill has to do with veterans. I'm just using that as a grant. It's usually a very small, finite amount. The rest of it is tree equity. They're studying immigration patterns of the butterfly in Malaysia. You know, transgender rights in the Philippines. I mean, it goes to all these things that we don't give a damn about.
Just inflated government programs that don't affect daily people in their daily lives.
It doesn't. And I guarantee you, I think before they sign a bill, first of all, there should be a law that says
if you have to read it.
Yeah. Or if the bill is for this, that's it.
Yeah.
Nobody else is getting in.
Yeah.
This is what it's for. If there's a word in here that has anything about some other thing, we're cutting it out.
How about we make the people voting on the bill, they have to pass a test about what's in the bill before they sign it.
Nothing would get done. You would cease to have 25,000 page bills.
You have to read all 25,000 pages, and you don't even need 100. You just need to get 60% of the questions right in order to have the ability to sign and vote.
And